Today we are going to do important questions of the general term of AP, and these questions are not from NCERT but they are past year questions, in the sense they have appeared in the past year papers. So do watch the video till the end and understand all the questions that have been done over here. Okay, so the first question is, if the mth term of an AP be 1 by n and nth term be 1 by m, then show that its mnth term is 1. And this question had appeared in the CBSE Boards 2017. So what all we are given over here? We are being told the mth term is 1 by n. So let's start doing the question and writing what is given to us. They have told that mth term is 1 by n. Now when they say mth term, it can be written as a plus m minus 1d. I have just replaced the formula for nth term with m over here. Now, the next thing is nth term be 1 by m. So now, the general relation of an, it is given to us as 1 over m, and we will expand it by writing a plus n minus 1d. Now, what we can see over here, these are two linear equations with two unknowns, and the unknowns are a and d. So we will solve these two equations. I will use elimination over here and will eliminate such that I am going to subtract them. So what will happen over here on the left hand side, I will have 1 over n minus 1 over n equals a and a will get cancelled. I am left with m minus 1 times d minus n minus 1 times d. Now we need to solve this one and it will give us the value of d over here. So let's start solving. I am taking LCM on the left. It will result in m minus n over mn equals. Now I'm going to expand everything on the right hand side. It is md minus d minus nd. And this minus and minus will turn plus. So it will become plus d. So what we see over here, d and d are getting cancelled. Now we have m minus n over mn equals, we had md minus nd. So I am taking out d as a common factor from that and we are left with this. Now if you see, we have got m minus n as a common element on both the sides. So I'm just cancelling it out and we got the value of d as 1 over mn. Okay, now we have got the value of d. We need to find a. So what I'm going to do, the initial relation that we had of an, you can substitute that in either of these equations. I am substituting in an. An was 1 by m equals a plus n minus 1d. Now in place of d, I am substituting 1 over mn. So let's start solving this one. We have 1 over m equals a plus n over mn minus 1 over mn, right? N gets cancelled. We are left with 1 over n equals a plus 1 over m minus 1 over mn. This gets cancelled again. 1 over n is common on both the sides, so it gets cancelled. I'm left with 0 equals a minus 1 over mn. That leaves us with a equals 1 over mn. So we have seen, we have got the values of both a and d and they both came out as 1 over mn. Now the question asked to show that the mnth term is 1. The question is not yet over. We are supposed to find the mnth term. Now we have got the value of a, we have got the value of d. Now we need to just expand the general relation and substitute the values of a and d to get the answer. So we have amn equals a plus mn minus 1 times d. Now we need to substitute a and d over here. 1 over mn plus mn minus 1 times 1 over mn. We will expand and simplify. 1 over mn minus 1 times 1 over mn. 1 over mn plus mn minus 1 times 1 over mn. We will expand and simplify. We will expand and simplify. 1 over mn minus 1 times 1 over mn. We will expand and simplify. 1 over mn plus mn minus 1 times 1 over mn. 1 over mn plus mn minus 1 times 1 over mn. 1 over mn plus mn minus 1 times 1 over mn. 1 over mn plus mn minus 1 times 1 over mn. 1 over mn plus mn minus 1 times 1 over mn. 1 over mn plus mn minus 1 times 1 over mn. 1 over mn plus mn minus 1 times 1 over mn. 1 over mn plus mn minus 1 times 1 over mn. 1 over mn plus mn minus 1 times 1 over mn. 1 over mn plus mn minus 1 times 1 over mn. 1 over mn plus mn minus 1 times 1 over mn. 1 over mn plus mn minus 1 times 1 over mn. 1 over m minus 1 over mn. Now 1 over mn and minus 1 over mn gets cancelled. We are left with mn over mn. They also got cancelled, and hence we are left with amn equals 1. And at the end, we need to write hence proved. So in this question, we saw that we had everything in terms of variables. We first solved the two equations by using elimination, got the value of a and d, and then applied these values in the general relation and got the value of amn, which is 1. Now, let's move on to the next important question. And this question had appeared in 2008 and 2017. The question says, if the pth term of an AP is Q and qth term is P, prove that its nth term is P plus Q minus N. So let's start doing it. Now, pth term is Q. That means we are given this thing, AP equals Q, and I will expand pth term over here, which is written as A plus P minus 1T. And then we are being told that AQ is P. So A plus Q minus 1T. Now again, we have got two simultaneous equations over here, which we are going to solve by eliminating. So I'll start with elimination over here, and I'm subtracting them. So A and A will get cancelled. On the left, I am having Q minus P equals P minus 1 times D minus Q minus 1 times D. We will expand on the right. It will give us PD minus D minus QD, and this minus and minus will turn positive D. D got cancelled. We are left with PD minus QD, and I'm going to take out D as a common factor, and we have Q minus P over here. If we see over here, we do not have the direct same expression on both the sides, but they're slightly different with a difference of just negative. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out minus 1 common on the left, and it will turn it into P minus Q. So now we have P minus Q times D over here. P minus Q will get cancelled, and the value we are left for D is just negative 1. So we got our D over here. Now what we need to find the value of A, which I'm going to substitute in either of the initial equations and get the value of A. So let's start with that. So we have Q equals A plus P minus 1, and the value of D that came out was negative 1. So what we get over here, Q equals A minus P plus 1. I multiplied P minus 1 with minus 1, and hence I got negative P plus 1. Now I will shift everything on the left except A. So we are getting Q plus P minus 1 equals A. This is the value for the first term we have got. Now the question asked to find the value of the nth term such that it comes out to be P plus Q minus N. So let's start doing that. What we have is An equals A plus N minus 1 times D. So A came out to be Q plus P minus 1 plus N minus 1 will remain as it is, and I am substituting the value of D as negative 1. Expanding things, Q plus P minus 1, it gives me minus N plus 1. Now 1 and 1 got cancelled, and we are left with Q plus P minus N, and this is what they have asked to prove, that the nth term is Q plus P minus N. So at the end we will write hence proved. These two questions were quite similar in the way that we had got two simultaneous equations in the beginning, which we solved using elimination, got A, got D, and then substituted the values of A and D in the asked equation where it was the general term of A and D, right? Let's start with the third question now. And this question is, if m times the mth term of an AP equals to n times the nth term. Show that n plus nth term of the AP is 0. This question has also appeared twice, once in 2008 and then 2019. So see, what you can see over here is that a question if once appeared in both, it's not that it can't appear both again. It can appear again. Even after a period of 11 years, it again came back. Okay. So that is why it is very important to practice past year questions. Now let's start doing it. We have m times the mth term of an AP. Okay. First of all, we will expand by writing am, which is a plus m minus 1d, right? And they are saying n times. So what I'm going to do, I am going to multiply m into an. So this is going to give me m times a plus m minus 1d, like this. So this becomes am plus md minus m square d minus md. I have expanded everything together over here. This is m times the nth term. Now, the second thing they told us, n times the nth term. Okay, so let's start with that. Now, when they say nth term, it is an a plus n minus 1d. Now they are asking us to multiply it with n. So let's do that. N times an. Now I'll multiply the whole expression. Like this. So we expand now and it gives us an plus n square d minus nd. Now they said the n times the mth term equals n times the nth term. That means this equation and this equation, they both are equal. So when they're saying equal, we need to equate them. Now we will write equating 1 and 2. So that leaves us with an plus m square d minus md equals an plus n square d minus nd. Now we will solve it, and they had asked to show that the m plus nth term of the AP be 0. Okay, so we are supposed to do this way now. We are equating it. So what we get is, I'll see what I will do. I will collect the terms belonging to A on one side, and I will collect all the terms belonging to T on the other side. So now we will rewrite this expression by shuffling it, and this becomes am minus an equals. Now what we have on the other side is minus m square d plus md plus n square d minus nd. Okay, just a sec. It was not like that. Rather, it was am and an. Now I am taking out a as a common factor on the left and left with m minus n. Now minus m square d plus n square d. I am collecting them, and that leaves me with n square minus m square d over here plus m minus n and d over here. Simplifying the right side further leaves me with n minus m, n plus m plus. Now, if you see what we have, okay, we are leaving m minus n only over here, and d I have taken out the common element outside. On the left, we had a times m minus n. Now, if you see what we have got over here, we have got the common element as m minus n, n minus m, m minus n. But there is a slight difference that on the right hand side, the first expression is n minus m. It is not m minus n. So again, what we are going to do, we are going to take out a subtraction over here, negative. Now, what does that leave me with? It will give me minus over here, m minus n into n plus m plus m minus n and d over here like that. I am writing each and every step so that you can understand in detail. Now, left side remains as it is as of now. But what I will do, I will take out m minus n, which is a common factor. And that leaves me with minus times n plus m plus 1 times d. Now, if you see m minus n got cancelled. And what we are getting a as minus n plus 1 times d. Because I opened up the bracket of negative by multiplying this negative with m and n. So this is what we have got. We have got the value of a in terms of d. Now, they had asked to find the n plus nth term and prove that it be 0. So let's start. Now, what we are going to do over here, we are going to write an expression for n plus nth term, which is a plus. Now, in place of n, I'm going to replace that with m plus n minus 1 times d. So what was a? We have just found the value of a. We will substitute it, which came out to be minus n plus 1 times d. And this is m plus n minus 1 times d. So let's expand minus n d minus nd plus d plus nd plus nd and minus d. Now, if you see, we have got all the terms as one positive and one negative. So md got cancelled, nd got cancelled, d got cancelled, which came out to be 0 and hence proved. So over here in this video, we have solved 3 important questions from the past year paper, and they all belong to the general term, the AN term of AP. I hope you have understood everything, and if you have any doubts, you can comment below and do subscribe to the channel for further more important questions. Happy learning!